हंस के कहती है कि किसी में खाने में चल, फिर किसी लाला शहनाज रुख के काशाने में चल, ये अगर मुमकिन नहीं तो ए दोस्त किसी वीराने में चल। I take a lot of pride in my faith. My faith always stood for and stands for equality, dignity, tolerance, and respect for other faiths. I do not have a control on my destiny, and I do my best to make sure that I can chart a course that I stay on that path. Anything and everything is possible when we learn from one another, when we listen to each other, when we set aside our differences to work for shared goals with the shared responsibility and shared sacrifices. My purpose in the life is giving back and sharing.
In the United States, we have come to a point in the 21st century where we do not divide people by religion, by ethnicity, by race, and by membership in groups. And if there's going to be groups singled out, then in honor of you, Frank, and in the spirit of your work and sacrifice, I want to be a member of whatever group is being singled out. I present to you the great Frank Islam.
Islam is a terrific leader.
He's confident.
He finds what he wants and doesn't give up.
Frank Islam is one of those people that always looks for ways to bring people together.
Frank wants to really give back.
He likes to have things done a certain way. It's great. Mr. Islam's great. Frank is a very reasonable guy.
Working with Mr. Islam, Ms. Driving is great. I love my job.
A fair, dreaming, smart American, because I think that's one of the biggest things he loves is to be an American.
He's one of those people who was a successful entrepreneur and now is working hard to give back.
He was born in Koraghani, a remote village in the dusty streets of Azamgarh of Uttar Pradesh in the year 1953. Nobody would have then predicted that a man could go on to build a legacy like the one he has built for himself. Today, he is known world over as Frank Islam, a reputed entrepreneur and renowned philanthropist, as well as the owner of a 16-bedroom mansion in Washington, D.C. that has everyone swooning over. But more on the house later. What went behind making Frank Islam a revered hero both in India and America? Let's find out in this episode of Those Who Made It.
Let me tell you the story. I was born in Azamgarh. Azamgarh helped me to shape my story and also my journey and determine my destiny. This is the city where my ancestors are buried beneath that beloved city. I have never lost love of Azamgarh.
His parents were his strongest role models who laid the foundation for him to flourish and instilled in him the values of loving, sharing, and giving back to his community.
I firmly believe that my parents played a very important role in my success. My parents are the one who gave us the love of education. And the most important thing my parents gave it to me, loving, sharing, and giving back. Well, my parents passed away when I was 24 years old. There's not a single day that goes by that I do not mourn the passing of my parents. They were the best and brightest of all. Their memory still lingers in my mind. It has never faded away from my memory.
After a modest upbringing in Azamgarh, Islam moved to Aligarh to attend college at the reputed Aligarh Muslim University. He has fond memories of his years of study at the university and owes much of his success to the inspiration he gained studying there.
I would not be the person I am today if I would have not received the education at Aligarh Muslim University. It instilled in me the love of education, to be the best you can be, to exploit your fullest potential, to give back to your community and your country, and also to excel in every endeavor that you want to go after.
It was at the young, innocent age of 16 that Islam moved from Aligarh to America with one strong goal: to realize the American dream. He attended the University of Colorado for his bachelor's and master's degree in computer science.
I have never ever thought of leaving Aligarh, but I did. Education is what caused me to cross the Atlantic Ocean to realize and attain and achieve the American dream. When I came to Colorado, which is the border with the Professor Throne, who I owe sincere gratitude because he brought me to this country as a student. So my name was Shah Fakhrul Islam. As a result of that, the name was complicated, so they gave me the name Frank Islam. In order for me to make a phone call back then, it took about 2 days to make a phone call to India. So you see how far we have come since then. There was no Indian restaurant in Colorado, but there were a lot of Mexican food. It was not a substitute, but it was not bad. But I didn't have money to go out, so we cooked food sometimes in the kitchen and made Indian food. So it worked out pretty good.
Islam moved to McMaster University in Ontario, Canada to pursue his PhD, after which he took up a job at an IT firm there. This was where he met his future wife, Debbie Dreisman. She was a computer programmer too, apart from being an equally driven and passionate individual.
We came with different backgrounds, different strengths and different thoughts, but she has always been a constant source of inspiration and strength to all of us.
We met together on the job. It's definitely not where we thought we were going when we met. He was just one of the other guys at the company, but for a while a group of us would get together and chat when we didn't have anything pressing to do, and after a while he and I seemed to be the last ones talking.
After graduations, we came to Washington, D.C., and then this is when we got married. I value her opinion, and she has been instrumental in terms of giving back and philanthropic activities, especially in art, education, and peace. So I would say that she played a very important and significant role and continue to play that role in my life. And then in 1994, I believe, with all the desire and the drive and discipline, I started my own business and established a company called QSS, which is the Information Technology Company. I grew it from 1 employee to 3,000 employees, from $1 to $400 million.
The QSS Group was an information technology company which generated a revenue of $300 million. He sold the company and founded the FI Investment Group in 2007 that focuses on providing growth capital to emerging companies.
In 2007, I sold that business to Ross Perot, and that gave me the financial independence to establish the foundation, and it's called Frank Islam and Debbie Dreisman Foundation, and that foundation focuses on arts, education, and world peace.
Frank made the right decision in the sense that he knew it was time, or he was interested in moving on to the next challenges in life. Certainly he had an interest in philanthropy and charity and giving back, but he really didn't have as much time to spend focused on that. And I think that's probably one of the reasons that he wanted to sell the businesses, so he could move on and spend time focused on his next interests and passions.
I was surrounded by a very talented team of management, and when I sold the business, they were well rewarded because they helped me to get there. It was my time to get them back.
He cared about the people. While he expected them to do certain things, he didn't blame people irrationally for the results. If everybody made a great effort, he appreciated it.
Not too many people, especially immigrants, can say that they have had the proud honor of meeting and working with the unanimously loved world leader Barack Obama, former President of the United States of America. Their relationship is a multifaceted one.
Frank has really proven himself to be a strong force within the Democratic Party. He contributes lots of ideas to the debate, and because he's a successful entrepreneur as a recent immigrant to the United States, he really can speak from the heart about what this country has to offer.
I have an opportunity to meet many times President Obama. I find him very kind person. I also found him a very disciplined person. I've always been touched by the grace of the President Obama and President Clinton, who I know very well, and Hillary Clinton. President Obama has been kind enough to appoint me as a board of trustees at John F. Kennedy Center, which is a temple of art. It was an honor. when the president asked me to travel with him to India as a part of the Republic Day Parade, which is the 26th of January. And I participated in the US-India CEO Summit Conference with the Prime Minister Modi and the President Obama.
Islam was a prominent face of Hillary Clinton's campaign and has been involved hugely in fundraising events for the Democratic Party for a long time now. He feels very strongly too for his adopted country and has written 2 books that he believes can help contribute to America's future and continued growth as a nation.
My other civic engagement is to write blogs, and I write columns in Huffington Post, and I wrote 2 books on it. I want the next generations of Americans, and for that matter all over the world, to be inspired by my story, and I tell them, you could be one day Frank Islam or President Obama if you work hard and put your minds together.
The Islams jointly founded the Frank Islam and Debbie Dreisman Foundation and have donated immensely to various causes, both in the US and India, ever since. In his own words, his purpose in life now is to give back to the society. The foundation mainly focuses on education, art and culture, peace, and conflict resolution.
My wife Debbie and I are uniquely blessed with that. And we have realized and achieved the American dream. With that thought and spirit in mind, we decided to donate $2 million to build Frank and Debbie Islam School of Management, Azamgarh Muslim University.
This is a truly special occasion for me, the opportunity for me to be here to participate in this dedication of Frank and Debbie Islam Management Complex is one of the highlights of our lives.
This investment, what I consider, will keep the students' hope alive. I also laid the stone foundation for Frank and Debbie Islam Healthcare Center. And as you know, the villagers in India do not have access to the health so that they can take care of their health. We gave $1 million to Institute of Peace because we believe in peace. As for the Clinton Foundation is concerned, I think that our investment in the Clinton Foundation is very important because the Clinton Foundation providing the support in Africa and to fight against the poverty, hunger and disease. We also have given a lot of money to the several universities where I serve on the board of trustees in the United States and also provided a lot of scholarship program to the students who have financial hardship.
Frank Islam is a terrific leader in our community. When I say community, I mean here where we are right now in Montgomery County, Maryland, but also for Maryland and for the whole country. He's one of those people who was a successful entrepreneur and now is working hard to give back to others in the community.
Philanthropy is a privilege and opportunity, and philanthropy is an investment. And also, I strongly believe the words of President John F. Kennedy, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Islam describes his motherland as a land of hopes and dreams and maintains strong ties with it through annual visits. His hometown welcomes him with open arms as well, and there is even a road built there in his honor.
As a matter of fact, I went there to put this sign. It's called Shah F. Islam Road. I think the road that connects my ancestor village from Lucknow, which is the capital of the UP. So I'm honored and I'm very pleased that this happened. I did receive the doctor degree, which is an honorary degree from Azamgarh Muslim University, and I said in my acceptance speech that I'm honored, I'm humble, and I also said that we are divided by distance, but we're united by our passion. I was treated well with the dignity and respect. As you know, there were a lot of people trying to talk to me, touch me, and ask me questions. So as a result of that, there were some police escorts there too, so they were able to control the crowd.
There is enough about Frank Islam's professional and political life that grabs eyeballs. But a house he and his wife envisioned and had built is not any less worthy of receiving as much limelight as all his other achievements. Norton Manor, as they call their home, is a grand culmination of interesting influences from their travel tales around the world. Spread over 47,000 square feet with 16 bedrooms, it's also one of the biggest mansions in the world.
Somewhere when we travel all over the world, we got some ideas, so we brought that ideas and we told our architecture and our people who were doing the landscape and the outside that this is what we were looking for. So I would say it evolved.
It's a challenge, Frank and Debbie were very specific about what they wanted, certain things, and they're traveling around the world and they see something they like. It might be something in this house that isn't even in the United States, and it is now. Frank would throw in after coming back from a business trip or something, and things would change. So we had 50, 60 change orders on the construction of the house. Something this big isn't too bad, but that's 50 or 60 curveballs we got during this job.
Inspirations have been drawn from far and near, including the Taj Mahal from his motherland, in the form of a reflection pool in the driveway. There's plenty of Mughal architecture styling too. Apart from this, the house has rich English and French influences.
This house is very unique and different from other houses that I've done, just due to the size and the different elements from all around the world that they try to incorporate in this house.
Norton Manor is mostly English and French. It goes back to 17th century Renaissance France, so that's what our house is. And the garden is mostly English in the White House garden. On the front part, we call them Henry VIII garden, which is a replica of the garden at Hampton Court. The only thing about Indian is about our house is the reflecting pool, which is the replica of the Taj Mahal. And there are some of the bedroom has a Mughal art there on the ceiling. That's a replica of the White House benches. We also have several chairs that was in the blue room of the White House. So it was not an intent for us to replicate the White House, but it turned out to be East Wing and West Wing. And that's how the White House is remembered as. I was always fascinated by the American history. So when we were at the Reagan's Library, we saw this replica of the Oval Office, so we decided to get the desk. Some of the chandeliers that we have over here came from Vienna. Some of them came from other parts of Europe, but a lot of them was handmade. The people came from all over the world to work over here on the house. We decided to build the guest house, and guest house has 5 bedrooms. It's a fairly large, it's 7,000 square feet. We built as a part of our complex right next to the main house. And the idea was to put the guest over there, and also when we have a family get together, my wife Debbie's family is very large and my family is large, so we can use them, we can use the guest house to house them.
Some of the major challenges that we face here are, even to the public, they always try to come on the property, take a look at the estate when they don't understand it's a private residence, but they still think they have the right to come in and look at the house because it's very impressive.
Bicycle riders that ride up and down the street, they've never seen a place like this before, so they want to try to ring the bell to come in, they want to take a tour around. Obviously, for security reasons, we can't allow that to happen.
This is a real personal home to Frank and Debbie, and for what they wanted to use it for, I'm very proud that I think we got their vision and created this house, which I think was very important to Frank and Debbie.
It is my pleasure and privilege to welcome all of you to Norton Manor, our humble home.
The Islams have hosted several charitable events at their home and welcomed some prominent public figures like Vice President Joe Biden and former Presidents Barack Obama and Bill Clinton.
We do a lot of events at our home for our party, which is the Democratic Party, for the fundraising to make sure that they have the resources in order for them to compete in the election. This is how the democracy flourishes. That's how the capitalism grows.
Frank Islam and his wife Debbie are truly citizens of the world in the sense that they're working hard to try to bring people together, to bridge differences of faith, differences of ethnicity, differences of race, and really bring people together to be the best we can be.
When Clinton was here, we had to coordinate with his head of security for the Secret Service. They would come in a couple of days in advance. We'll walk them through the estate. We'll tell them our protocol. They tell us their protocol. We kind of have to coexist with them. It would be the same aspect for any event. We secure the estate, inside the house, outside the house, access control for the property until President Clinton was off the property.
Thank you to the Interfaith Conference of the Metropolitan Washington for honoring me with this leadership award.
Islam has gained a lot of recognition over the years in the form of multiple industry awards for leadership, entrepreneurship, and excellence, apart from many others for his philanthropic activities. He was recognized by Ernst & Young as Maryland Entrepreneur of the Year, as well as by U.S. Small Business Administration as the year's Small Business Person of the D.C. metropolitan area. He has also won the Martin Luther King Jr. Award for International Service and the Interfaith Leadership Award. He considers his opportunity to have been able to deliver a speech at his alma mater, Aligarh Muslim University, a huge privilege on the day he was honored with a doctor's degree.
What's best in me, I owe to Aligarh Muslim University.
During my convocation speech to the students, I said that if you conceive it, if you believe it, you can achieve it. And I also told them that they have to go beyond their horizon and exploit their fullest potential, and they can achieve anything they want to achieve because they can make impossible as possible.
It takes some remarkable selflessness for a man who crossed the Indian Ocean all by himself at 16, with no godfathers or mentors in place, to want to dedicate his life to creating more people like himself. While he tirelessly works towards this goal, the rest of the world is watching this man grow and admiring his perseverance.
My legacy that I leave behind is, what have I done to make a meaningful and positive impact, influence on people's life that could also become another Frank Islam who's willing to give back to our country and community, because we have so much to give if we put our mind to do so.
Here's to many more Frank Islams in the making. The world surely needs more of them. Catch us next week, same time.